If Pennington wins, he's got 2 entries in the final 3. If Coltrera wins, there's a distinct possibility he'll have to run Peeps again later on tonight. Of course, Mr. York doesn't think so, but we'll find out. Both of them easing in. Countdown's going to come down in the right lane first. They're in. They're set. They're both away on the green. Wow, listen to the Wampin coming early. Kyle Coltrera, 003, can't get there. Pennington goes 013, dead 1, taken 2 thou, and Pennington is in the final and in the semifinal. Got the bye run at 3. He could potentially race himself in the final round. And if York wants to win the 30 grand, gonna have to beat Pennington twice.
All right, here we are at the 2023 Strange Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries. We're in the Galat Tower Suite. I'm sitting here with JJ Pennington, and we're going to talk about the history of how he became part of our staff. JJ, so let's rewind, all right? Okay. 2010, how old were you?
2010, I would have been, let's see, at the time of the fling, I would have been 4 years old.
4 years old, okay. So in 2010, when we had our first fling, I called up Jared Pennington, his father, and I said, can you come? And I was very impressed by his World Foot Brake Challenge race. I attended it and I was super impressed by it. So I said, can you come and, just kind of oversee what I'm doing? If I'm doing anything wrong, put me, help me out a little bit. And funny part of the story is he goes, I'll call you back with a price the next day. He goes, how many days? I said, well, I'd like you to get you there 3 or 4 days. So calls him back the next day. He goes, all right, Pete, I got the price. And he says, it's serious as can be. He goes, it's going to be 10 grand. Take it or leave it. So, and I didn't know him really well. So I was like, okay. And he goes, I'm just joking, man. It's only X amount per day. So anyway, he has a great reputation. He's a funny guy. Obviously, he's one of the best announcers there is, if not the best bracket racing announcer. And that's how I met Jared. Fast forward to the event, it gets even better. Alan Reinhardt, the NHRA announcer, is there, and Alan's announcing, and he says, I need a break. And Kyle and I and the Bristol staff and Jared are sitting in the tower, and I said, all right, I'm looking around, and Jared goes, I can do it for a little bit. That was 2010. That was his first really debut as an announcer. I started listening to him. I pulled him out. I said, holy moly, dude, you're good. And anyway, the rest is history. He's been part of our flings for a long time. He's made a lot of them from 2010 to 2017. He's made probably all of them. Now he's a little bit busy and he makes them as he can. But that's how I met this guy. This guy started announcing, JJ started announcing. How old were you when you first started announcing at our flings?
At the flings, I would have been 10 years old, the first fling I ever went to.
So at 10 years old, I'm listening to this guy, and he would just fill in because his father, he knows we run a pretty tight program, and we want the professionals on the announcements. So calling the shots. So he lets JJ in a little bit here and there, and I'm like, man, this kid's good. As the years went on, he got better and better, and I called Jared and I said, can you come to this event, to the Galat event? And he said, no, I can't. I said, what about JJ? How old are you now, JJ?
17.
17. And when he was 10, he was doing math like Rain Man. I'm telling you, this guy he was figuring out within a millisecond of when they crossed the finish line, he was figuring out the stripe, everything. But I told him, and I meant this, JJ, you earned this. You've been with us for a long time, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So how does it feel to, you've announced at a lot of races, how does it feel to be here at a fling? How does it feel to, I'm not going to say you're taking your father's seat, but he's a busy guy, and you can be part of our future.
Well, I first like to say that's an honor for you to say that about me, coming from the Peter Biondo. So yeah, I came to my first fling, the spring fling in Bristol, 2016. 10 years old. It had been a dream of mine to go to a fling, and really just travel the world, travel the country with my dad to announce these big money races that he went to. So I made it to my first fling, and I knew from that weekend forward that I wanted to go to every fling possible. I remember the first day we were there, the first morning, I held up one of the champion trophies from the weekend. You took my picture. I'll never forget that moment. Went out on the track, took a picture with you and Kyle. That's a moment I'll never forget. Really, just like I said, I knew from that weekend forward it was a dream of mine to come to a fling and do what I'm doing this weekend. From that point forward, made it to Galat the very first year you had it, 2017. We were at that one. Made it to all the Galat events up until 2020. Made it to all the Bristol events up until 2020, and then Dad retired from announcing all these big money races. So that kind of hindered my ability because I was only 14, 15 at the time. I couldn't drive myself, couldn't really fly by myself, couldn't do any of that stuff. He wasn't comfortable with me leaving home by myself. So when he called me, I guess it was about a month ago or so, close to it, and said, here's the deal. They've got an announcer at the fling for Galat. Peter needs a second one. He wants you. Can you do it? I immediately said, I'd love to. Let me check my schedule. I'll know by next week. And I found out within the next week and a half. And when I found out that I was going to be able to make it, it really didn't set in until yesterday. Left school early, get in the truck with my friend Casey Pesnell, start driving out here, and it started to set in. The closer we got, I'm going to a fling, I'm racing, I'm announcing. This is a dream of mine. And to do it here at Galat is even better, because this is a beautiful racetrack. Ever since I came here for the first time, dreamed about going down the racetrack and announcing here at a fling. And now, thanks to you and my dad and just really everybody that's helped me out along the way, that dream's coming true.
That's awesome. And I've watched you develop your skills. Knew from the start you were going to be something special. Watched you all the way through when your voice was even changing. Now you're a young man, you're responsible. Like I said, you're humble. But people ask a guy that's good in basketball, like, is it in your genes, or a guy that's good in racing? Is it in your genes, or is it something learned? Like, how did you get so good so early in life at announcing?
So, obviously, World Foot Brake Challenge was started in 2007. I was a year old when it started. And my dad got his first real announcing job, I guess you could say, at the very first fling when he stepped in. And just watching him at the World Foot Brake Challenge and everything, watching him on Motor Mania, I started to realize, okay, this is something he lets me do with him. This is something I could see myself doing. I really enjoy this. I enjoy being behind the scenes. I enjoy announcing. And I just said, this is something I could see myself doing later in life. I could see myself being just like my father in this aspect. Picked up a microphone for the first time when I was probably 3 years old in Bristol. And all I would do was sit there and say, this lane's going to win or that lane's going to win. And I'd be right 99 times out of 10. I'd be correct. And just, like I said, started to realize this is something that I'm passionate about. This is something I can see myself doing. And I stuck with it, and it looks like it's paying off.
Well, you have a heck of a future if you want it to be in announcing, because any event would be foolish not to choose you as an announcer. I'm going to just take a stab at it, and say math's your favorite, you're best in math.
Math is my best subject.
Because when you, like I mentioned earlier, when you were 12 even, you were just blowing me away with the math, the way you figured things out on the racetrack so quick. For anyone, well, first of all, your father is known as, if not the best, arguably the best. I think he's the best bracket racing announcer there is. I mean, everybody loves him. The funny part is, even when I have to deliver bad news over the mic, I would give it to him. Okay, you do it. I'll deliver the good news. He knows. He just has a delivery all of his own. You picked up a lot of that, and you have your own style, but you picked up some of his style, and it's very impressive.
Well, again, I appreciate the kind words from you, Peter. Like I said, it's been a dream of mine to travel the country, announce races just like my dad did. I want to see all these new tracks. I want to race at these tracks and what have you. And it's an honor for you to say that any event would be foolish not to at least ask me about it. And again, it's something I can see myself doing throughout my life. I can see myself traveling to some of these big money races and announcing for them if they need me to.
That's awesome. You know, and as on our staff, we look for, obviously we look for talent, but in any position, but probably even more importantly, we look for character. And your dad did such a good job, because you are, as I mentioned earlier, you're humble, you're respectful, and you're just a pleasure to be around. We like good vibes in a tower, and you bring that. Well,
I appreciate that. Obviously, I have to give props to my dad. He instilled that in me at a young age and showed me how I was supposed to act, especially around grown-ups and what have you. He really showed me the correct way to be a young man.
Well, he did a good job. So should we make it official? Should we?
I don't know if we can make it fully official
well,
yet.
No, well, we can make this one. Jared, you're fired. There's a new captain in town.
60 years of innovation, 60 years of attention to detail, 60 years of rigorous testing under race conditions is what makes ATI Performance Products great. ATI has been helping racers like you reach the finish line first. Today, we manufacture a wide range of high-performance parts that are track-tested and race-proven. We're passionate about performance, and that passion is what drives you to the finish line first. See everything ATI has to offer at ATIRacing.com.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the Fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Racers serving up the very best parts. That's what Mazier Enterprises is all about. Since our first product introduction in the 1980s, we have been in the relentless pursuit of excellence on the track and off, with a mission to produce the very best parts. Problem-solving parts for your high-performance vehicle. No matter if it's chassis and fabrication, water pump and cooling system, starters and the accompanying electrical, or full billet flex plates you're after, look to Mazier for the best solutions.
Peeps Pennington, 509 left side. Jeremy York, 446 right side. Pennington, out of Three Rivers, Texas, trying to make it a Texas two-step, 2 days in a row. York, trying to take the money back to Indiana. If Pennington beats York here, we're done. Pennington will be winner and runner-up. If York knocks him off, he has to, you know, no big deal, just come back and do the same thing again. So here we go. Peeps Pennington, 509 in the left. Jeremy York, 446 right side. 6,300 head start goes to Peeps. Oh boy, I think we're done. Win light. No! No! Oh! Peeps
Peeps is 001. Take 22 to be under by 3 foul. Had to take 19 or less. All Jeremy York can do is go 446 over and over and over again. He's 14 up front. And Peeps goes through 508 at $129, but can't slow it down enough. And we're going to do this all over again for $30,000. As Peace Pennington, 1 take 22 to be 3 foul under. And York stays alive.
Welcome to Las Vegas. Welcome to the Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Method. For many of you, this is a familiar feeling. For others, it's a first. And while this entire week will be amazing, an experience that will last a lifetime, ultimately, there's a reason that most of us are here. I want you to humor me for just a moment. I want you to close your eyes and allow yourself to sink into, to imagine what it's going to feel like here on Friday morning. Soak in that energy. Because if you know, you know. You can say it's just another race all you want. And yet, you know. $1 Million Day, it's just different. There is an electricity in the air. There is an intensity in your gut. It's largely unspoken. You're surrounded by professionals. We all know what we signed up for. But make no mistake, it's here. And you are not the only one feeling it. With that excitement, with that electricity, there is an inherent pressure to perform. The stakes are high, sure, but what might be even more intriguing to the competitor in all of us is this unique opportunity to test our skills against the best racers the world has to offer. Embrace this moment as just that, an opportunity. You belong here. When you roll into the water for round one, you see the mountains in the distance. If you're fortunate enough to make that left turn beside the tower for round 6 and see so many of your fellow racers standing on the fence, eliminated, but waiting with bated breath. Because, let's be honest, no one leaves the million before it's over. I'm not going to tell you that in that moment, your heart won't be beating out of your chest, it will. I'm not going to tell you that you won't feel that nervous energy in the pit of your stomach. I will tell you this, embrace that feeling. It does not come every day. It's not rooted in fear. It's not rooted in trepidation. No, those butterflies in your gut, do you know what they mean? They mean that you care. And if you didn't care, you wouldn't be here in the first place. You've done the work necessary to succeed at this level. Trust yourself to execute to the best of your immense ability. Find confidence in the fact that you have worked, thought, studied, trained as hard or harder than anyone in competition at this moment. You are prepared, you are ready. These are the moments that make the grind worthwhile. You have trained yourself so that now, on the biggest stage, you can trust yourself. Focus on your strengths, execute them to the best of your ability. It's natural to think that on this stage, against this immense level of competition, that we have to be superhuman to succeed. Only that's not accurate. Race within your comfort zone. We're all familiar with the stakes. This promises to be the richest spring fling million ever. The consequences of winning today, pretty monumental. For most of us, winning today's event, it would be a life-changing experience. But not winning today's event, it's not as devastating as we often think in the moment. Sure, a loss in the big show, it stings. It stings more than normal. But we'll wake up tomorrow, we'll resume everyday life, and if we're honest, we're in Las Vegas, driving a race car for the better part of a week. If we're honest with ourselves, our life is pretty good. I want to encourage each of you, take a moment in the heat of battle. Take a moment to soak in the city. You've got the mountains in front of you, a beautiful backdrop to an incredible facility. You're surrounded by the energy of hundreds of racers striving for that same goal, creating an atmosphere that is as electric as any that our sport has to offer. Give yourself a moment, maybe at the ready line. Maybe it's as you pull into the water box. Perhaps it's right before you pre-stage. Take a look around. Breathe this in. This is what it's all about. Approach today with your best effort, your best attitude. Practice optimism on purpose. Well, that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. Listen, there have been 7 winners in the history of this event, and not one has been 000 for 9 consecutive rounds to do it. In fact, no one's been 00 anything for 9 straight rounds to do it, because we don't play a game of perfect. So don't expect perfection within yourself. And don't allow your inability to be perfect to derail you from your ability to be the best that you can be. Strive to underreact in the moment. You have earned the right to be confident. And if we're honest, while it may not feel like it in the moment, in the big picture, you've got very little to lose. Keep that in perspective and enjoy one of the best days that our sport has to offer.
Aquifers and springs, baby
All right, so here we go. Peeps Pennington decided to skip his bye run. And they're going to go right into the final. Jeremy York and Peeps Pennington. What a day. These guys are driving their tails off. Peeps is trip zip and then follows it up with a 001. York has been really consistent. I can't wait to see this go down. So Peeps gets down to 3 with his roadster with 2 entries. Which, by the way, Peeps is knocking on the door first 1 to 5 flings, which is a $5,000 bonus. At 3, I believe. York, all I can say is at this point, he's probably gone the most rounds this week. Between his truck on Thursday, his dragster the last 2 days. So this is going to be a battle. Take them back to the lanes, and we'll crown a champion on Fuel Tech $30,000 Saturday.
Hello, racers. Thought I'd take you a little bit behind the scenes with the queen of the diva desk at the Spring Flings, Emily Biondo. Emily, how are you today?
I'm good.
So Emily's hard at it right now because we're about to leave for Vegas, and as soon as we finish Vegas, we're going to be trekking east to Galat with very little break. So if there's a little bit of stress on your face, we'll give you some leeway there.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yep.
I want to start off with the first question. You know, people see us running around at the Flings, and we rarely get any time, personal time. So tell us first, here's my first question to you. I want the racers to get to know you a little bit, but my first question is a hard one. It's, you've been, everybody knows, most people that are watching this know that Kyle Seipel, my best friend and business partner, passed away recently. And you, myself, and Kyle worked hand in hand for the last 12 years with the Flings. Tell the audience what it's like working with Kyle and I.
Okay.
Being a buffer, whatever your role was, whatever you did, tell the audience about it.
Yeah, a couple roles. Buffer's a good word for it. It's us 3 musketeers. I feel like we just had such a great, like, 1, 2, 3 punch, the 3 of us. You know, the boys can be so stringent with certain things and more analytical, and I would throw in some things that would be more personal, more personable for the racers. But the 3 of us working together was just like nothing else. I mean, the 1-2 punch of Peter and Kyle are unlike anything that I've ever seen in a friendship, and especially living so far away from each other. We all worked together for 12 years, and we miss him dearly. But you know, I've stepped up in the last couple of years and taken on some more of his roles. But he'll never be replaced, that's for sure.
There's no doubt about that. As a best friend and a business partner, he'll never be replaced. But you definitely did step up. So let's talk about that a little bit. You're a mother of 2, and you're now my right-hand person at the Flings. So tell us a little bit about your role, leading up to the event at the Flings, what you do, and what it's like.
Yeah, so leading up to the races, it's really turned into a full-time job these past, 3 or 4 years, I'd say. Thankfully, my kids are in school now, so I get a good chunk of time every day to do the grind, all the prizes, the sponsors, the spreadsheets, trying to organize everything so that when we arrive at the event, we can, actually take it in. And that's the best part of working with the Flings is once you arrive at the track, you get this, the aura is just really cool. It's fun to be in the mix. I love being at the diva desk. It's you're right there on the front line. So the racers, you know, they're coming to buy back and they're just excited too. They've never been so happy to spend money with you, you know, because you hear all the good stuff. So it's cool to be on the front lines like that.
Yeah, the Diva Desk is a fun place to be at the Flings. I know it's
There's
stressful
controversy
sometimes.
though whether the Diva Desk was created because the racers are the divas or because we're the divas. But I'm
Oh.
sticking with that it's the racers that are the divas.
Maybe a little bit of both. Well, you guys
The
are
wives will
definitely
all
divas.
agree with me.
Yeah, you guys work hard and you make it fun for all of the employees at the Flings and all the racers as well. Tell us a little bit about your racing. How did you get started, and your transition into motherhood from racing?
Yeah, so I started racing when I was 14, which would have been 22 years ago, which seems crazy that I'm even old enough to be racing for 22 years. But my friend's dad raced down in Florida where I lived in Seminole, Florida. And I went out to the track with her one Friday night and it was just fun, you know, being around the racing atmosphere. We were like brushing off the tires after the burnout, you know, thinking we were like the crew. My dad was always into muscle cars growing up, but he never went to the drag strip. So I was like, Dad, you got to come out here. And it was right up his alley. So the family just plunged right in and I started racing juniors when I was 14, stopped competitive gymnastics at that point and never looked back. I got, you know, my first big car when I turned 16. I raced some foot brake here and there. And now I'm lucky if I, you know, get in the seat like once a year, but it's fun to do that now as a mom, you know, jump in the seat and let the kids kind of cheer for me. And Peter will bring the kids down to the finish line and I'll see him when I turn off. Sometimes like Severio will hand me the time slip when I'm at New Media Racing because it's such a cool, close family knit atmosphere there. So he jumps in the time slip booth and it's hard to transition from one role to the other back and forth like that. So I don't race very often, but which is fine with me. But it's nice to let the kids see me, you know, doing my thing and that the world doesn't revolve just around them. Like, I think it's so cool. These moms out here racing, you know, often I think it's neat for the kids to realize that the moms and the dads, you know, they had lives before they became parents. And we have to bump these kids down a little bit into thinking that the world doesn't revolve around them.
Yeah, and probably you're underplaying how much you transition from a racer to a mother and a housewife. And the thing that I admire about you the most is how you unselfishly put your personal racing totally on the back burner, except for that 1 or 2 times per year. And I don't think there's too many people that would unselfishly make that conscious choice like you did. So definitely lucky to have you as part of obviously my wife, the mother of my kids, and the Queen Fling at the Diva Desk.
Thanks, babe.
What's your biggest win? Tell the audience what your biggest win.
You were there for it. It was 2012. I ran Super Gas for the first time. I had raced Super Comp a handful of times at Gator Nationals, you know, our hometown national event in Florida. But I hadn't really, you know, gone very far in those races, 3rd round, 4th round. And then all of a sudden, Peter puts me in Anthony Bertozzi's Super Gas car that is, I mean, what, 170 miles an hour in the quarter?
Yeah,
Right.
what she's not saying is she's never did a burnout with with a line lock in a door car before racing at this national event. And she's never, and so we chose Bristol because Bristol's altitude a little bit. I figured it would take some horsepower away, just the weather in itself, because I was nervous. That thing hauls ass. It's 170 miles per hour. And here I am, put my wife in it, who didn't have much experience or any in a roadster. But 7 rounds later, I was pulling behind you in the tower. I was in the final as well in Superstock, and I watched you be double-O, take dolo, and light up the scoreboards in the final. And to me, that was between that and my father winning a national event in front of me at Englishtown. Those are my 2 most memorable moments at the drag strip. So,
yeah, that was neat. We had already had 2 flings at Bristol by that point. It was 2012.
Pennington says he's going to run 5:08. Jeremy York 446. No pressure. Pennington took 2 cars to the semifinals. If Jeremy York beats him back-to-back, Jeremy darn sure deserves a trophy and the cash. But he just put a chip on Pennington's shoulder the last time down the racetrack. And Peeps, not likely to make the same mistake twice, especially not with his dial being down 1. 30 grand to the winner. Nobody knows or cares what the runner-up gets paid because neither one of these guys are thinking about runner-up money right now. Head start goes to the right lane. Pennington's ready. York, second bulb ready. Green on both sides. Pennington trying to hold on. Jeremy York nails him. 446, dead 5 with a 003. Pennington with an 011 light was locked out by Jeremy York, who put together 8. 5087 on a 508 for Pennington with an 011 light. Not enough. York goes 003. York goes dead 5. Beat him twice and gets the money. This car doesn't count. Frank Cervelli came in earlier in the week and said, I need to make a time run. Pete said, you can make one at the end of the day. Well, it's the end of the day, so here we go.
Welding, pumps, regulators, filters, fueling champions.
And there you have it. All right, we're going to be down in the winter circle to meet Jeremy York. If you want to come by and join us, come by and join us. Y'all know where it is. Tomorrow morning, 7:45 for church. Come up a little early. Reaction time challenge. It'll be on Facebook, or you'll get a text message here pretty quick. Join us in the staging lanes tomorrow. Interesting day. How about Jeremy York? After Pennington looked like he was going to run the table, Jeremy stole his dessert. For Steve Riggins, I'm Alan Reinhardt. I'm headed down to the winter circle right now. We'll see you tomorrow. All righty, making our way down here into the winter circle with Jeremy York. That was a heck of a finish to a heck of a day.
Yeah, finished a whole lot better than what's been going. I've been struggling on the tree a little bit, but I don't know. I guess the car's been saving me a lot, and I don't know. I just finally I found the tree, I guess, in the final.
Look at what you've done the last couple of days. You knocked down some rounds yesterday. You were solid today. I think it's hard for some people to believe you've been struggling.
Yeah, I mean, the car's been unbelievable. It's been great. I mean, I've been close on the tree, just, I guess, afraid to, I've hit it a few times and then I've been afraid to pull out and get down low on them, numbers. But I don't know. I mean, the car's just been awesome. And, we've been close, and luckily been fortunate enough to just be, just a touch better than the guy in the other lane.
Let's talk about the last two runs that you made tonight. Peeps was like in the zone. You know how good he is. He knows how good you are. You go up there first time. He had you on the ropes and let you up. Tell me about your mentality going into the last run.
I mean, it's just just keep doing your thing. I try to, change it up a little bit on, driving the finish line, against him, because I thought, well, maybe, I don't want to do the same thing twice against him. So I tried to do a little something different, but, it helped me, getting, that good reaction time. So that helped a little bit, and gave me a little more room down there.
The Flings have been pretty good to you. You come back here tomorrow, you got a shot to do this again, and that would put you in some pretty elite company as far as the number of Fling wins.
Yeah, they put on some great races at great tracks, and I've been fortunate enough to go many rounds and find my way to a couple finals here and there. So race that I love coming to.
What are you, Mini Pearl? What the hell is this? You didn't even take the, are you gonna turn this back in on Monday?
Yeah, I'm trading it back in for a bigger size.
I think I'd keep this one. I think it's good luck.
Yeah, we'll see.
I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Congratulations. Awesome day today, especially when you got to go up against a guy like that and beat him 2 in a row in order to take the trophy. You deserve every ounce of that trophy and every dollar that comes with it.
I appreciate it, Alan. Yeah, Peeps is tough. I mean, racing many times at Bristol and just seeing what he's done, and can't give hats off to him because he's great.
I can look forward to seeing you race tomorrow. Thanks to my dad, my brother, my daughter, Mechanical Engine Performance, York RV Service. Man, I don't know. I mean, I guess put a lot of work into it and try to make these cars best we can. So. Leslie, yeah. Girlfriend. And you want to come in and help him with this? I mean, yeah. Don't forget your girlfriend. That would go over really bad.
She's overseas in the Netherlands, so she's probably waking up to watch this, hopefully.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you do tomorrow. That's freaking hilarious. The Mini Pearl of the Winter Circle, Jeremy York wins Saturday here at the Spring Fling. It was a fun day. It was a little bit long day. It was a whole lot freaking shorter than yesterday, and we're all really grateful for that. Run for the Money kicks us off tomorrow morning. For those of you on Motor Mania, thanks for checking in. For Strange Engineering for paying it, thanks for you too. Come back and see tomorrow. It's going to be the final day of the Summer Fling presented by Jags. It's going to be a fun one. I'm Alan Reinhardt. On behalf of Steve Riggins and everybody here, we'll see you in the morning, bright and early.
Wow, I'm so tired I almost forgot what I'm doing. Okay, congratulations to Jeremy York. What a nice young man that was. Yes, for his victory over Peeps twice. Oh my gosh. Anyway, congratulations. Okay, Jeremy won the Fuel Tech 30K today. Yesterday, the ATI 30K was won by Eric Sandlin. Okay, let's see. Thursday, the APD 15K was won by Gage Birch. And of course, Scotty Richardson took the Fuel Factory 100K All-Star Shootout on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we'll be doing one more 30K, and that's the American Race Cars 30K. And let's see, we're going to start early. I believe they're doing that thing about, it's either 8:15 or 8:30. Just check the listing, and we'll have it right. Okay, say your goodbyes to each other, and we will see you. Wait a minute, let me get ready. We will see you tomorrow.